She's big, she's bad, and oh yeah, she's fast. It's Talladega, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Just 3 races away from solidifying our playoff field, and we've got a slate of 60 laps of high-octane, close-quartered racing coming up next. I am Emerson Nard, and I have my colleague Will Tiller alongside myself in the virtual booth this evening. We're excited to be bringing you live coverage of round number 11 from virtual Lincoln, Alabama, here on VIRacing.com motorsport simulations platform. Will, many drivers will look at tonight as their final realistic shot to sneak into the playoffs. Never will just run it any other day, but Will, so much can go on here at Talladega. If you're a driver virtually strapping into one of these Fiverr trucks tonight, what possibly could be going through your mind?
And I'm so excited. Sweet home Talladega here tonight, and it's also excellent we have you back up here in the booth here in Talladega week. I think here tonight, if I'm a driver strapping into one of these trucks, this is my championship race. This is the crown jewel. This is where I want to win. This is where I want to get a podium. This is where I want to have a great finish. No better track to show out, to show what you're made of, than an excellent track like Talladega.
Absolutely, Will. And this track, well, it's pretty high bank. The 33 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2, 32.5 entering turn number 3, and 32.4 coming off of turn number 4. The quad oval is somewhere in the range of 18 degrees, and very, very long straightaways. We're talking about 3,200 if you count turn 4 to turn 1, and about 3,200 feet, I should say, about 3,000 feet down on the back straightaway. It's a very, very long, fast track. It provides a lot of great racing, and a lot can happen when we have everyone all packed up. Will, all it takes is one mistake from one driver for the whole thing to go whammo.
Yeah, and I think with the lap count here tonight, only 60 laps. We have a stage break of lap 15. It's going to be an absolute shootout. I think right out of the gate, the drop of that green flag, you're going to see guys jockeying for position. You're going to have 3 wide battles down the backstretch. I don't think you're going to have any time here to allow any sort of warm-up process. I know we spoke off air about any kind of single file racing. I don't think we're going to have that here tonight, Emerson. I think we're going to be airtight throughout the entire race. It's going to come down to one of those last second pit stops, I do believe.
I guess then we'll have to see, but to set the stage for tonight, let's take a look at our playoff standings coming into today's race. Now you see those top 9, they have 4-digit point totals next to them. That doesn't mean they have that many points. That's just to signify that they are locked into the playoffs. They are up ahead of the rest. Nothing that they do tonight will knock them out of the playoffs. They all have a win, or in Trevor Williams' case, 2 wins on the season. So what we're really looking at is then 10th on back. This is where the drivers who are not locked into the playoffs, this is where we're talking right here. And we're talking about that cut line. Looks like it's Blair Holloman then on the cut line at 15th position. Dan Park just outside the cut line. This is going to be a great battle to watch tonight, right? This is ever changing, and you never know what can happen. 13 points can go away quick, especially at a track like Talladega, but not even just tonight, Will. We have 2 short tracks to close out the season with The Rock and Phoenix coming up. Boy, oh boy, it is going to be something else for these guys to close out this regular season.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, Emerson, here, and mistake me if I'm wrong, but is it a win in your in situation for some of these guys that is 15 and higher? So in that instance, I'm looking at some of these guys that have been right on the brink of winning. Looking at Daniel Dow in that 2, Daniel Park in that 7, Troy Techmeyer has been in the mix, Sean Cochran right there in that 43, Austin DeLong as well in the 89. All of these guys have been in the mix in some of these races. Emerson maybe just caught some bad luck towards the end that the results don't show it. But I think any of those guys, if they can get a victory here tonight, or maybe just a top 3, it may be enough to go to those short tracks we were just talking about.
Yeah, realistically thinking about it, these are all the drivers outside the cut line that could win, and you're in, just kind of based on starts and participation this season. These are the drivers that really have a realistic shot, but you can make a case for almost any one of these drivers on your screen right now, 16th through 33rd in points, that they could win this race. Because, well, one, it's Talladega, but two, just they're running throughout the season. You can always pick. You can maybe cherry pick a way to angle the outlook of a season, and any one of these drivers, if they put it in victory lane tonight, we might be talking about them come playoff time.
Yeah, no better track to get it done than at Talladega to get that victory, to put you over the top or to put you across that marker. And we talked about it off air. We look at those last two races of the regular season, and folks, we put a lot of emphasis on Talladega because we look at those two short tracks as tracks you don't really want to hinge all of your championship bets on, Emerson. You don't want to have to go to Rockingham and Phoenix being on that cut line or out of it and have to make it up somehow winning at those tracks. You basically want to put all your championship eggs in tonight's basket and see how it pays off.
And a quick note, I think it'd be almost safe to say Ratke and Greathouse, with them having near 100 points over the cut line, that they're looking good, but they're not safe by any means. If they can maintain that gap, then we're talking about maybe potentially locking in on points. But for now, Ratke, Greathouse, they look the best, but even then, anything can happen. It might just happen at Talladega. But speaking about Talladega, then, Will, qualifying is underway. We have about 3 minutes left. It's time to head on down to the track, kind of take a look at how these drivers are ranking up amongst the times. And, well, would you look at that, Will? It is a three-way tie atop the timing sheet between Andrew Harris, Jason Kratke, and Troy Techmeyer. Qualifying has been a doozy so far, and these times are oh so close just because it is so easy. And Bab just goes fourth. He ties fifth place Danny Dow. So now the top five are all tied with one another. The top three tied with one another, fourth and fifth tied with one another. These times are so close. I mean, you're talking about a quarter second between first and 25th right now.
Yeah, and I think this is the style of race we're going to see here tonight. Emerson, very airtight, very locked in. A lot of those 2x2 battles, 3x3 battles as well. And just look at those lap times. If you're watching along with us here on the Speed Racing Network on our YouTube or Facebook page, you see right there Bab tied with Dow. You see Lapke just ahead of Jacob Zala right there. I mean, these lap times, as you mentioned, Emerson, are just so airtight.
There goes our Las Vegas winner, Michael Lepicki. He goes sixth on the timing sheet, looking to add some momentum, maybe get himself a second win before playoffs come in. That's another thing. The drivers who are locked in, they're looking for more bonus points to add to their playoff totals heading into the playoffs that aid them in advancing through the rounds, and also just momentum. So we were talking about all these drivers outside the cut line and, you know, in the cut line, but not locked in. The drivers who are locked in are looking at this race as a race to potentially make up, or I guess, because there's so many one race or single race winners on the season. A second race win here could start to separate you from the rest. So drivers will also be looking at this race in that regard as well, to put some more bonus points and some momentum towards their name.
Yeah, and I think that just alludes to how competitive this season's been. We don't have a lot of multi-winners this season. I think these drivers, only one so far, and creeping into those playoff races, I think that makes it even more competitive, because even with the top 15 that we're gonna take, it's a pretty airtight top 15. Not a lot of difference between those top 15 drivers.
And so qualifying is coming to a close, about 30 seconds left, and dropping 27 times have been put on the sheet. Still waiting on the likes of Radke, or I guess Jeffrey Radke, Corey Stahl, Sean Griffith will not be taking time today. And that's intriguing to think about, Will. One of our drivers that are up there in points, not locked into the playoffs, Jeffrey Radke, actually our point leader outside of the race winners. Jeffrey Radke is. He's going to elect to start at the back of this field and take the conservative route to tonight's 60-lap event.
And I like it. And I think because of the drop of the green flag, it's going to be so frantic. It's going to be so crazy. I think, Emerson, what you're going to see also on that backstretch is a lot of these drivers are going to pull out of that draft. They're not going to like what they feel right off the jump of this race. So maybe it's a smart move to sort of lay in the grass, wait for maybe those last 25, 30 laps, and make those moves to the grid.
Well, here we go, Will. It is time to go through our starting lineup for round number 11 of 20 here on the Speed Racing Network Fiverr Truck Series 5th season. And our timing sheet, there it is, top of the charts, even to the 1,000th of a second. It is a dead tie, a dead heat between the top two of Andrew Harris and Jason Kratke. Troy Techmeyer misses out on pole by 2/1000ths of a second. There in third. Wally Babb in fourth, about a quarter of a tenth off the top time. Danny Dow, Mike Lepicki, row number 3. Daniel Park, Jacob Zala, row 4. Jason Green and Dylan Godinez, row number 5.
Row number 6, we're going to have Zachary Hines and Trevor Williams. Row number 7, we're going to look at Austin DeLong and Bruce Arvidson. Row number 8, we have Ben Park and Sean Cochran. Row number 9, Nicholas Lawrence and Matthew Greathouse. And row number 10, James Jackson in that 29 and Jason Tripp in that 91.
Kind of round out the rest of the field here tonight. Michael Madden, Sean Kozier, then row number 11. Row 12 would be Derek Da Silva, Blair Holloman, Jose Castellanos, Walter Lepicki will make up row number 13. Spencer Brown, the last driver to take time tonight, just under a quarter second off of the pole time at 27th. That is just how close these times were tonight. Corey Stahl elects not to take time tonight, along with Jeffrey Radke and Sean Griffith to make up our 30 truck grid, getting ready to do battle tonight. And as the field works their way up off their grid wheel, we're getting ready to do battle here at Talladega, and it's going to be a fun one today. And I think maybe more for fun, because just about anything can and almost anything will happen here at Talladega will. If I had to put you on the spot and say, well, you got to pick one of these guys, what would you go with?
Oh, that's so hard at a track like this, Emerson. I don't think we have a guy that can dominate at high banks. The only thing we can look back at as Daytona, Emerson. So, at a race like this, you're going to have big accidents, you're going to have big cautions. But, if I had to pick one, I'm looking at Andrew Harris in that 87. Has been very strong at the high bank sort of track, super speedway races. Watch out for that 87 machine. I know he's starting out at the pole position, which is sort of dangerous at a track like this, but I feel like he has the speed and the ability to last through everything here in these 60 laps and take that checkered flag.
I don't think that's a bad choice. Andrew Harris is one of our more aggressive drivers in the series. He likes to get to the front, to be up front. We saw him drive to the field at Darlington. But here, I think this is a track you could justify the front, maybe one of the more safer positions as it gets more frantic behind you. But, of course, it's going to be aggressive to get up there. Somebody I'm looking at, I think I'm going to go with somebody who hasn't won yet. And I'm looking at, let's say, Dylan Godinez. He's outside the cut line, but he's had some decent runs so far. He's one of our own here at Speed Racing Network. He's been able to call a few races. Out. Yeah, I'll go with Dylan Godinez to get it done here at Talladega. But here we go. VIRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety down in the pit lane. The field of 30 Speed Racing Network Fiverr Truck Series vehicles gradually roll at 70 miles an hour through the tri-oval, and racing commences from Alabama. One lap completed. Jason Kratke atop the standings in that middle lane. How about the 88 there? Dylan Godinez on the high side.
You already have a 3-wide battle there for a top 5 spot right in the middle there. That's that 22 machine of Lapke. Godinez is in the mix. Meanwhile, Harris still takes us down the backstretch. You have big movement in that inside lane from that 54 machine of Kratky. We're 3 wide for the lead already into 3 and 4. Emerson, this race is kicking off in early.
The action is already going out here out in front of the field. And we got 3 wide here. That's Sean Corcoran, who has been kicked out to the high side there. He's outside Venv 28. That's Bruce Amsden there to the inside of him. Looks like Jason Green. It looks like Corcoran may be working his way backwards. Out in front, Wally Babb trying to work to the outside of Kratky. Kratky went from the middle lane. He has since dropped down to the inside. And Dylan Godinez, who was working 3 wide, has now filed into that third truck on the outside lane. Sat behind Michael Lepicki.
Yeah, everybody just filing in right now, trying to get comfortable in this race. Wally Babb will take us off of 2 as our race leader. He's being pushed along by Lapke on that top side. You also see Harris and Godinez in the mix into 3 and 4. So airtight 2x2 racing as the 99 machine of Wally Babb on the top side is our race leader momentarily. But here comes Kratky on the inside off of 4.
Wally Babb, that big head of steam. If I'm not mistaken, Wally Babb was the driver to get it done at Daytona, and he's roaring to the occasion now. 3 laps complete from Talladega. Wally Babb out in front. Mike Lepicki with the push.
Ooh, that's things right there, though. Emerson on the top side getting a little sketchy up there. The 54 of Kratky. You see that top side lane getting a little uncomfortable. Techmeyer up there. Godinez up there as well. A little bit of movement out of that top side lane. But they're back to work, and as a team is right now Wally Babb, our race leader, into 3 and 4, looking strong in that 99, leading the way so far.
On board the 88 here of Dylan Godinez, just to get a little bit of a look up front. And now I want to drop us a little bit more into the thick of the pack here. Maybe it's a little bit more calm for now, but this is on board the 91 Ven of Jason Tripp. Watching the pack kind of work their way up to their momentum point. You work forward, right, everyone double wide.
Yeah, double wide on the racetrack. Emerson 5 laps into this race, and coming off of that corner, I think corner number 2 is going to be the corner that brings out the first caution of the night. Something about that corner tends to eat up trucks, and I expect it here. Whether or not it happens before that stage break, is right now the 22 machine of Lapke, he pulls out a line in 3 and 4. That's going to make things a little bit difficult coming off of 4.
Yeah, and Will, being somebody who has driven on the sim a little bit, it is a little difficult, especially getting into the corners, depending on your field of view settings and how you have everything set up and your general feel of the boundaries of your vehicle. It's a little hard to turn into the corners being right up behind someone's tailgate. You can't really see the dashed lines or anything. All you can really see is the tailgate or the spoiler in front of you. And so I don't think Lepicki is doing that intentionally to, jump out of line and screw the line. I think it's just so difficult to really see into the corner, and he's maybe being a little more safe with the steering inputs than maybe sorry.
Oh yeah, that top side though, him and the 99 of Babb have separated there in that 3rd place position. That's the 88 of Dylan Godinez, slid down though in 6th. That's how tight it is here at Talladega. Those positions all at the top. But here we come. We are rumbling towards a lap truck on the racetrack. Emerson, let's see how this plays off here down the front stretch.
It is a Sean Griffith, a former co-owner of Speed Racing Network. He's not looking to, rile things up just yet, but he jumps up to that high side. He's going to let the field go by. I think he elected to start it from the pit lane. Unfortunately, it's cost him a lap early here at Talladega. We'll see if he's able to stick around, catch that stage yellow, and get back onto the lead lap. Sean Griffith, the only driver 1 lap down, and one of 3 drivers to lose the lead pack, but that one was more by virtue of starting from the pit lane. Actually, nobody's lost the lead pack.
No, but look at this scene heading into 3 and 4. If you're watching along with us here in the Speed Racing Network, look at the field we have here tonight. Emerson coming off of the corner. Everybody 2 by 2 all the way down the grid as our leader Wally Babb takes us down the front stretch. Going to make it 8 laps. Right now, creeping up towards that stage number 1 break on that 99. As you mentioned it, ran very good at Daytona, trying to go back-to-back in these high banks.
looking off the tailgate of the number 99 machine just to see how aggressive Michael Lepicki is pushing on that rear end all over. You can see inside the radiator of that number 22 machine. That's how aggressive, but very smooth pushes from the 22 of Michael Lepicki here.
And right there for the 22 of Lepicki, it's almost like you're in Yankee Candle. You want to smell all the candles. Right now, he has that nose on every inch of that back bumper of the 99, trying to get as many smells as he can, trying to get around that machine. And you can tell that 22 wasn't comfortable on the top side. He's not comfortable right now behind the 99. I think he's going to be most comfortable in that top position. Let's see if he can try to find a way to the top as things are getting hairy here as a big run out of the 28 on the top side. He's going to throw a wrench in the 22's plans.
Well, that's teammates right there. Bruce Amsden and Michael Lepicki side by side for that second position. We'll see if there's a plan to maybe get Mike to jump up in front of Bruce, or see if there's a plan to get these two together. But they are side by side right now for that second position, and maybe not trying to figure out a way to get around that 99 truck. Well, Mike wants to jump up. He's kind of peeking, but he doesn't want to do it at the wrong time. He wants to do it with the momentum in tow.
Yeah, and you saw that there. Emerson came up.
Oh, 3 wide.
Dylan Godinez on the middle. 3 wide on the racetrack. That came out of nowhere. Emerson, more contact. Oh, what's going on? Emerson into 1 and 2. We're 3 wide, beating off each other.
James Jackson sent it through the middle. Now Austin DeLong gets sent high as Sean Corcoran was trying to work their way forward, and all of a sudden everything is turned upside down here at the front of the field.
What is happening? Looks like the scene of Too Fast and Too Furious. We have cars going everywhere on the racetrack. These trucks didn't know where to go. Meanwhile, Dylan Godinez has slipped outside of the top 10. To the 28, Emerson has slid down to 8th. Through all of that, Emerson still our leader, Wally Babb, now virtually by himself at the top, just with that 22 right behind him.
And Dylan Godinez is still 3rd. That was teammate Austin DeLong that dropped outside the top 10, and James Jackson was the one who initially sent it 3 wide. Dylan Godinez has stayed put on that inside lane. Oh, yeah.
It got frantic right on that backstretch. Everybody slip sliding everywhere, and that's what Talladega does. So much pressure in these positions, Emerson. You know as well as I do, you can't afford any mistakes at a track like this. You start to slide back out of this lead group, that could be the race.
Absolutely. Here we go. We got a run here. This is Andrew Harris jumping up in front of Trevor Williams, trying to get something working there, about 4 trucks back, but they're working that outside lane here before the stage ends. And now here comes Jason Cracky. He jumps up.
Yeah, Cracky in that 54. He'll lead the top side lane. He'll take Harris in that 87 as well. They are hard charging on that top side, trying to put some pressure on the 99 of Wally Babb as this first stage is creeping towards an end here. Emerson, a new race leader, Jason Cracky, takes us off at 2 as our race leader.
Yeah, Cracky back to the point out in front of now the 99 of Wally Babb. Cracky led the initial lap, first lap at the beginning of the race. Now Andrew Harris, our pole sitter, trying to work his way forward. We have a truck jumping out behind. Looks like that's the 7 of Dan Park, trying to get something rolling to the high side there. It looks like he's got the, I would imagine that's the 8 of Nicholas Lawrence in tow, trying to work something up on that high side.
Yeah, and they're just 3 trucks on that outside, trying to be a David versus Goliath situation. Now you see a 4th truck go up there as well, a little bit of speed, and we're seeing see how many positions they can get in this run as we have just a few laps to go in stage number 1.
A little bit of a scratch that wasn't Lawrence, that's brother Ben Park. No longer teammates at Tank Racing. Dan still is there, but Ben on another team. But the brothers link up there, trying to get something working there on the high side. At the moment, it kind of dissipates for a second, but a little bit of a nice touch to see the brothers to get together up on the high side. Now Dan drops down to the middle. Ben is going to try to go on through as Cracky's still out in front of Harris. Harris dropped down in front of Wally Babb, and he's going to take the lead.
Yeah, as you see Harrison at 87, he said, hold up, wait a minute, let me put this 87 in it, as he's going to get a big push from the 99, a Wally Babb down that front stretch. That's going to put him in that penthouse position for the stage victory. But Wally Babb said, hold up, as he goes to the outside into 1 and 2. He wants the stage victory as things are getting crazy on the apex of 1 and 2. We're side by side for the stage victory. Wally Babb, Andrew Harris on the backstretch.
Yeah, 1.5 laps to go. The penultimate time down the back straightaway in stage number 1. It is now 3 abreast in the middle of the field, but the top 6 are all nose to tail, slammed up each other's tailgates, trying to see which line can get momentum more. Babb trying to go forward with Jason Kratke. Andrew Harris has Michael Lepicki. This time by out of turn number 4 will be 1 lap to go in stage number 1.
Coming on the front stretch, still locked in tow with one another, although the field just got a little squirrely down the front stretch. Wally Babb will lead the lap across the start-finish line. Andrew Harris still on the inside, being pushed along by Lap Key. Crack Key is on the top side. We have all the keys up here in 1 and 2. Andrew Harris in that 87 just trying to inch that nose along here down the backstretch. You see the 22 of Lap Key. He wants to get the stage victory. He might be locked out though, Emerson, as we head into 3 and 4.
Yeah, Michael Lepicki there trying to push the 87 forward. He gets the momentum there, Andrew Harris does, into turn number 3. Out of 4, it's going to be side by side between Andrew Harris and Wally Babb. They'll be side by side through the trial. Well, Kratke's got a great push. Lepicki trying to keep the momentum up on the bumper. Oh, we got trucks going around. Trucks into the wall. 3 wide for the stage victory, and Andrew Harris is going to win the stage 4 wide. There, and the caution comes out, and
wow,
it's good. This one's gonna involve Ben Park, Jose Castellanos, and more.
Those 2 names you just mentioned, Emerson, those are drivers on that cut line, just to name a couple. And I was so hoping, Emerson, in that stage we could stay clean. I was going to be surprised if we did. It came down to the very last portion of the front stretch there. Man, what a stage here at Talladega.
A fantastic stage, unfortunately marred by a wreck coming to the end of it. And we'll go ahead and try to see what just happened. We're going to catch this a little late, but you'll see here, this is 17 of Castellanos turned up the track. Both the Park brothers in this one, big time damage here to 29 of James Jackson. Down the hill. This one, the 17 of Castellanos is gonna collect the 4 then and slam into the 64 of Walt Lepicki. They'll go across the pit access line to pick up a penalty. Oh my goodness. Oh, back up the track. Oh my goodness. Walt and Ben get together up on the high side before the start finish line as well. See if we can get a view up above here. Catching this a little late. Looking at it here, this one might tell a little bit more of the story. Well, catching it late there, but Castellanos has turned up the hill into 3 or 4 trucks. It comes down and collects a few more. Oh my goodness, Walt Lepicki ate the inside pit wall. Oh my goodness. Massive, massive impacts.
And drivers that are probably just hoping for the end of the stage there, Emerson, maybe head down pit road, see what kind of truck they had, get one of those top 10 finishes we were talking about, top 5, maybe if things fell in their direction now with damaged trucks. And for some of those guys, Emerson, their championship hopes are going to hinge on the Rockingham and Phoenix here in the next 2 weeks.
You're absolutely right. And I think we'll We had a chance to look at it here. Now we got a little ways back, so we were able to see a little bit more of what happened here. So Castellanos is sideways, slides down, sends the 8 underneath the L line, and then kind of just rides back up. Now he was 4 wide, Castellanos was. It looked like he just kind of started to panic there in the middle of the 4 wide, and unfortunately both the Park brothers, James Jackson, involved there. Looked like this is the 4 of Zachary Hines, who's going to eat a face full of the 17 truck, and then Walt Lepicki here in the 64. He's going to go for a wild ride after nowhere to go, right into the back of the 17 of Castellanos. Somehow, it looks like the 52 of Spencer Brown, the 89 of DeLong, they're going to find a way to get out of here for a little minimal damage. And this is the hit I'm talking about. Walt Lepicki's going straight for the corner of that pit wall. Oh my goodness. Nearly tips over with that impact, and it's just carried back up the track. Okay, one more look at it. This one at race speed. My goodness.
And I think what gets me, Emerson, in that first stage of racing, that was our very first caution, as dramatic as it was and traumatic as it was for some of those drivers on the backside of that grid. Only 1 caution, 16 laps in this race. I say we've been doing pretty good for how close this race has been.
Absolutely, I'd say so as well. As far as Andrew Harris, will have to wait for another time later in the event to try to get a few words in with our stage winner out of Phoenix Virtual Racing, Andrew Harris. But as we were about to go green this time, by a great job from our pole sitter, Andrew Harris, to kind of stick around and not lose touch of, you know, the front, even though he lost the lead off the initial start. Didn't even lead the first lap. He did lead the last lap there in stage number 1, and so Andrew Harris with a nice little stage victory there in that 87 machine. He's going to restart 3rd here for the restart.
Pretty good restarting spot. We also look at Techmeyer up there, Lepicki, Babb, Kratke, Dow, Williams, Green, DeLong, Lawrence is our new top 10 up there. Emerson cannot wait for this drop of the green flag.
Well, here we go. VRRacing.com safety vehicle. Find its safety in the pit lane. Wally Babb, Michael Lepicki, the front row, slowly working their way at 70 miles an hour to the restart zone. And racing will commence once again from Talladega. One lap removed from the restart, and it's Michael Lepicki. He's going to get sucker hold, or at least sent to the middle. He'll lead the lap, but to the outside goes the 32 of Techmeyer. And Techmeyer is going to be the one shuffled out of line. Kratke does get to the back end of the 22 truck of Michael Lepicki. Wally Babb on the inside trying to make something happen down there. And now Michael Lepicki is going to be pushed up to the front. Kratke, Trevor Williams, DeLong, and Morinto.
Man, Troy Techmeyer was trying to be like Allen Iverson on the 76ers, trying to do everything himself. Just didn't work out as he fades now all the way outside of the top 10, trying to find some help on that top side. Meanwhile, back at the top of the grid, Wally Babb in the 99, Lapke up there as well. He's being pushed by Kratky. The Keys have found each other at the top side of the grid. Emerson now 1-2 across that start-finish line into warm.
Yeah, Michael Lapicki now clears to the lead. He's got Jason Kratky in tow. Now DeLong and Sean Corcoran trying to work their way to the high side, find somebody in line. Techmeyer's picked up a couple of draft helpers there in the 15 of Michael Madden. Now 3 wide there as here comes Austin DeLong and here comes Troy Techmeyer.
Yeah, Michael Madden, the name that otherwise overshadowed in this race last week's taps the wall, just as I was mentioning that name. The 15 machine keeps it together. Emerson, last week's winner, has now fought through this grid. He's up a lot of spots since the drop of the green flag. He's actually up 12 spots. Emerson making sure. No, big wreck at the top.
Oh, we're still wrecking. Oh, no.
Oh, Emerson, we watched that live here on the Speed Racing Network. Big wreck on the front stretch, as I was talking about last week's winner, Madden in that 15. And that's going to involve some of those dogs up there at the top side of the grid, Emerson.
Oh my goodness, we were watching it live. Kratky gets hooked from the right rear quarter panel, and Will, that was from second position on the grid. Oh. There was nothing almost anyone else could have done.
And I don't want to break the folks at home's heart, but I think some of your favorite drivers might be involved in this. And again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have quite the crowd watching us here on a Tuesday night and watch along with us here. And Emerson, I think some of their favorite drivers might be involved.
Well, we'll see here what happened. Looks like a big push there. Oh, Kratky gets pushed up the track into DeLong, and this one's going to be tough. So Kratky and DeLong, they get together. Then DeLong gets sent down the track. And there's more contact there. Looks like the 28 of Amsden, the 32 of Techmeyer.
Wally Babb in the 99. Looks like he has something going on further up on the track. I don't know if he makes contact with the wall, Emerson, but we see him spinning out just ahead of this accident as well.
Yeah, he gets contacted from the right rear later in this wreck, and the sim not liking the accident there. A little evident, but gonna have a look at it here. Kind of see a little bit more of what happened. Maybe if we go so this is actually going to happen right there. Kratky and DeLong get together, and then Techmeyer just trying to avoid the accident. He actually didn't get hit at all until he drove down the track to avoid the accident into the 28 of Bruce Amsden. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and we were just talking about Troy Techmeyer and the run that he had on the outside, trying to work back in the mix in this race. You see him there on the top side. He's taking Madden with him in that 15. And it's so hard at Talladega. Emerson, you're 3 wide. I talked about at the start of this race, small mistakes can cost you a lot. And I think in that situation, Emerson, you had a small mistake and it just cascaded into a huge just pile up here at Talladega.
I think something that's going to go unnoticed here, maybe because of the little bit of a lag there from my end of the sim, but Zala goes right through the middle of that and makes it through. And this wreck, I think, is a little smaller than we think. Not as many drivers get caught up in this as we think. I think maybe only about 6 or 7, which is still a lot. But what this wreck could have been, as this wreck happened from second place, I think many of these drivers will rather have that. Right there, Kratky and DeLong, and then down the track is going to be more trucks involved. There's the 10, 32, the 28, the 99, the 2, and the 4. And I think that's going to be about it involved in this accident. Big hit there for the 4. Then there, Blair Holloman. Looks like he'll get away relatively unscathed. The 28 looks like just a spin. A lot of these guys just went for a spin too. I don't think that many people are out of this one actually.
There's going to be more, folks. If your favorite driver survived this one, or if you're cheering on a certain team, this is not the last caution we're going to see here tonight. Emerson knows it, and I think everybody watching along with us here in this Talladega race knows it as well. And I question you here, Emerson. If you don't head down pit road here, what's that pit strategy looking like? Are you looking at, we could actually talk to Andrew Harris
yeah,
in the 87.
Yep.
Are they going to split this race in half?
Yeah, we'll actually go ahead and ask then our stage one winner, Andrew Harris. We didn't get to talk to you on the initial caution, trying to review kind of that big accident behind. But Andrew, a wild opening start to this race, opening third to the race from the pole. You've been kind of sticking around up inside the top 10. What's the racing been like?
Yeah, it's getting kind of crazy up here to the front. You'll probably see me drop back a little bit. I just wanted to see if I got the pole, which I thought was crazy. So good points there, and then winning the stage. Just trying to get some points to go into the playoffs with. But you'll probably see me drop back here. It's getting kind of wild up here.
It seems like it a little bit. Now I think the cautions are going to help it out a little bit, but initially when you look at the 60-lap race at Talladega, it's the initial thought is a one-stop. Now the stage at lap 15 altered the strategy. How are you viewing it in the final 45?
Well, actually, we thought the pit lane was still going to be open with 2 to green, because it usually is, but it was closed this time. Not sure why, if that was just a quick caution that brought that out or what happened there, but it was actually closed. So our strategy was we're going to pit with 2 to green, go to the back of the pack, kind of group up with our people and ride it out. But now I'm up here in 8th and no pit stop, so we'll see what happens. Probably going to be another caution.
Yeah, the intensity is picking up, Andrew. Congratulations then on the stage 1 victory back a few laps ago. Best luck to you the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
That was driver of the number 87, Andrew Harris, our stage 1 winner. Got the chance to talk to him there as the iRacing.com safety vehicle find its safety down in the pit lane. The field then in the hands of Michael Lepicki in the 22 machine. At 70 miles an hour, the field rolls to the restart zone, and racing commences once again. Out in front, looks like Trevor C. Williams is trying to go for the lead. A big push then from Troy Techmeyer. For those two on the high side, Jacob Zala trying to work his way forward as well. Williams clears to the lead. He drops down, and now Techmeyer and Zala are left to figure it out up on the high side. Sean Corcoran behind Michael Lepicki.
And Emerson, I know Jessica Williams watching along with us here on YouTube is jumping up and down and cheering, because right now her favorite driver, Trevor Williams, in that one, trying to use that Bengal energy, get the victory here tonight. He is in a lockjam for the lead, though, with Techmeyer. He's going to get a big push out of Lepicki in the 22 that will make him the sole leader off of 4. Trevor Williams in the 1, the leader off of 4.
And Trevor Williams in the 1 machine, trying to be as fast as number 1 for the Bengals, Jamar Chase, out in front of the field. And still 3 trucks on the inside. Looks like the 97 Veracruz, the 5 of the Silva, they're going to jump up to the high side. And looks like a little bit of a 7-truck breakaway. Now, it looks like we have about 23, 22 trucks actually still running, and 21 still in the lead pack. So there's some damaged trucks around, and I'd say maybe, well, 4 look like they're out for sure. A few are out on the track a few laps down. And then we have 1 on the lead lap who was not able to stay with the lead pack. So this field now very strung out, Will. 22 trucks, a little bit of a smaller field. is the intensity still going to be that high? We are only halfway in the race. Do you think these drivers have kind of realized maybe we should calm down a little bit, maybe let this thing play out a little bit, maybe get to a pit stop?
No, I don't think so. I think these drivers are going to keep the intensity up as you still see 2x2 racing at the top side of this grid. I think you're just waiting for another top side lane to build up. Then you're going to see a lot more 3-wide battles. And you talked about, Emerson, some drivers who nights have gone south. What about some drivers that nights have gone north? Good night, Kozer in that 97 machine. He got 15 spots from the drop of the green flag. And Derek De Silva, he's up 17 spots from the drop of the green flag, currently in a battle with Sala for that position.
Yeah, Derek De Silva, he's one of those drivers. He's ran just about every race this season. He's one of those drivers that he could use a win today. Today would really, if he were able to get it done today, it would make his season for Derek. Not only looking for his first career Speed Race Network victory, but trying to make it his way into the playoffs. Derek De Silva's got a lot hanging on. If he can get a good finish, even not a win, just a good finish tonight would go a long way for Derek in that 5 machine, who's now sat in 6th.
As again, you look at this battle heading around the corner. Troy Techmeyer has looked as though he has found his Shaquille O'Neal, trying to be Kobe Bryant, as they have no help out there in the top side of the lane. Just the two of them. Emerson trying to get something going. Meanwhile, on that inside lane, it's still Trevor Williams. It's still Lepecki. It's still Cochran in that 43 machine. But what makes me nervous here, Emerson, is what we're watching here live. The 22 machine of Lepecki gets loose in 3 and 4. Let's see how dangerous that can be.
It'll be intriguing to see here if these drivers can keep it up. Now we have three up on that high side. Now 3 lanes as Dan Park jumps up to the high side. Nobody goes with. Looks like the 52 Spencer Brown will stay in that middle lane. And Dan Park, he thought he had something going, but he's going to get sent backwards. Now Spencer Brown and Jacob Zala there in the middle, a little sideways, entering the corner. Lead comes down on top of the truck to his inside there, the 97 of Sean Kozier. And
yeah,
maybe you're right then, Will. That second lane is starting to charge.
Yeah, they are setting a charge. When I'm watching here, this 22 into 3 and 4 again, you see it right there, Emerson. He's not comfortable, even though he's pushing Trevor Williams along. He's not comfortable with the air he feels from the 43 behind him. Gets very loose in the apex at 3 and 4. Let's see what kind of damage that can cause here later on in this race. Meanwhile, though, Trevor Williams still leading the way as the top side has some speed with Techmeyer. He's going to lead that lap. He's going to lead the field into 1 and 2.
Techmeyer to the point. And he'll clear down in front of the 1 machine of Trevor Williams. That'll leave Jacob Zala leading the high lane by himself. He's got the 52 of Spencer Brown, and so that he's going to rely on now. And a lot of dancing around down the back straightaway. Zala will get the push with the unorganized inside lane, still dancing around. Zala, for a brief moment, a couple scoring loops will lead the way. Now it's back to Techmeyer to the inside of turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, Techmeyer on that low side, getting a big push from Trevor Williams off of corner number 4. We're halfway through this race. Oh, man. Jacob Zala with a smooth move to throw that tail in front of Techmeyer, as now the 52 machine is moving along on the top.
Oh, that's a lap truck.
That's a lap truck in the mix, as right now there's a few more
2
lap trucks in there.
Yeah, I just realized. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of lap trucks up there. Castellanos 4 laps down. This is the lap truck train. Oh my goodness.
Nowhere to go. You got to go somewhere, right, Emerson?
So Zala leads this race, but he's not the leader of the pack. That was Spencer Brown. Now the outside lane's starting to lose a little bit of momentum, but Zala leads there on the inside and virtually no challenge.
No, Jacob Zala loves this. He just got that across the radio. I bet you're probably looking at rear view. He's looking to his right as well. Realize these are lap trucks battling to the outside. You take the pressure off for just a little bit. That also locks Trevor Williams there in that 3rd spot, as well as Techmeyer. They can't advance positions with this trail coming to the outside of them here, Emerson. But we are sneaking up towards probably that last pit stop here in this race.
Yeah, I don't know where that's going to be, right? You don't want to pit too late, but you don't want to take it too early either. But they did just have the caution, not even 10 laps ago. So I don't know if they're looking to pit now, but I would imagine maybe sometime in the next 10 laps, it could be a thought.
Yeah, as now we're into 3 and 4 of that lap. Truck Brigade still on the top side. It's locking in Techmeyer. It's locking in Williams on the low side of the racetrack. But Picky there in that 4th spot. Cochran and Godinez, you picked him here in this race, Emerson. Trying to go from broadcast booth to victory lane all in a week's time. Moving along in that 88 inside the top 5.
Yeah, how about the lap truck there of Spencer Brown? He'll drop down in front of the leader, Jacob Zala. And Zala, he doesn't like that. They're gonna go 3 wide.
Oh no, I don't like that, Emerson. As things could have went very south there, it's still clean on the racetrack. Jacob Zala almost collected by a lap truck.
I guess I get it, right? You don't want to lead the race and then still be pushing, still add somebody on top of your radiator, heating it up. I don't know if that was the move though, to be that aggressive with the lap trucks. They're trying to keep their seasons alive, trying to get back onto the lead lap, and not really affecting your race all that much. And now it'll be the 2 Danny Dow dropping down in front of Jacob Zala. Then there's the 17 Jose Castellanos. Both of those guys, they're up there on the high side, or the Castellanos and Spencer Brown, those are lap trucks. Now Zala is all boxed in. By lap, oh no! Oh, they're wrecking right in front of the little guys. This is gonna be bad. Oh no, up on the side. The 88 of Dylan Godinez.
Oh no.
Oh guys, this is a massive one.
Big one at Talladega strikes with 26 laps to go. We were fearing that, Emerson. We could almost feel it up here in the broadcast booth. I just didn't like those lap trucks up there. Last lap coming by, they went 3 wide. I didn't like that situation either. And it just looks like something sparked while they were racing up there. Contact was made. There's going to be leaders involved in this. Just rough to see with 26 laps to go.
There's only one truck racing around to the pace car right now.
Wow.
Maybe 2 Bruce Amston. I mean, 3rd place, Michael Madden has damage. Mike Lepicki looks okay. Derek Silva. Trevor Williams. Oh my goodness. Well, I was on the side of the lap cars racing for their essential playoff lives here, but when it gets that aggressive, that's a difficult pill to swallow. Wow. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Emerson. Just based on the fact that it's just hard. Those lap trucks up there, as you mentioned, we're battling for positions. And you saw it got very hairy before this accident. We went 3 wide. We both were nervous about that. But here we go, Emerson, as you have it queued up for the folks watching at home. And it just...
Oh, no.
And we'll watch it here.
Spencer Brown gets into the back of the 17, hooks him around. And now that's 3 lap cars just sideways in front of the leader, Jacob Zala. Dylan Godinez then tries to get by the high side. By the way, so Zala gets in this wreck, Godinez getting in this wreck, and they're the top 2 right there.
Techmeyer in that 32. It looks like he's going to sneak by. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think he might be the only one, man. This is...
Lepicki with damage right there to the nose.
And now the sim isn't going to like it very much, but we'll try to piece it together here. There's Godinez on the high side.
Zala is going to be caught on the low side of the racetrack there.
Yep. Many trucks. They went down to the bottom to avoid it, and look at how many trucks are going to head right to that track blockage on the inside.
Really nowhere to go. You had the accident happen on the low side of the racetrack, in the middle side of the racetrack. You had a few trucks survive on the top side, but Emerson, that's just the big one here at Talladega, and unfortunate had to involve lap trucks with leaders. That's something that you don't usually love to see, and unfortunately for this race tonight, Techmeyer looks to be the only leader that survived without damage.
Yeah, again, I feel bad, right? I was on the
Mhm.
side of the lap cars. Yeah, this is pretty much their last chance to make the playoffs, right? If you
Oh
get
yeah.
that lucky yellow, you get yourself back into this, into this race. But this is this is terrible. I don't condone that aggressive racing,
Mhm.
and to try to sneak it up the middle of your other lap car friends. I mean, not friends, but I don't know, man. This is hard. This is gonna change
That's
the
tough.
outcome of the race big time.
Yeah, outcome of the race, probably the outcome of the playoff standings as well, because some of
Sure.
those drivers that were in that mix right there may have been cut line drivers, may have been drivers that wanted to advance through, probably with a win here tonight. And I think a lot of guys who were hoping for top 10s, top 15s just saw their night basically evaporate right there, Emerson. And it's tough to see with 25 laps to go, see your night basically go down the drain. And we're just gonna have to reset now with 25 laps to go. And I said this coming into tonight's race, Emerson, it's really anybody's race to win. Qualifying, all that good stuff. You coming into this race with a lot of wins, but we know Talladega is a track that's gonna have wrecks. You're gonna have big wrecks as well. So anybody in this race here tonight has a legit chance. Now looking at that top 10, we have some new names in there who could throw their hats in the mix towards the end of this race.
Well, here's the other thing. This caution for those that are still running. This caution comes at a good time to top off on fuel. I think this might be one of the edge the fuel runs here. A lot of drivers came in on the 1 to green to top off on some fuel there, and so this is going to shake up who's left in this race. Will we have Michael Madden atop the standings, Bruce Amsden, Troy Techmeyer, Derek De Silva, Trevor Williams, Jason Green, Jason Tripp, Andrew Harris, Nicholas Lawrence, Sean Kozier of a top 10, Sean Griffith 11, Ratke, Holloman. Well, they're not newcomers to the top 10. They're names we haven't called today. And then after that, we get to the names that we did talk a lot about today: Wally Babb and Zala and Vela behind them, Park and Corcoran and Lipicki.
And Emerson, I have to look at that 15 of Madden. And I think just with the run here tonight, of course, up 20 spots from the drop of the green flag. That's a great feat just on itself, Emerson. But we're talking about last week's winner. You can come off of wins, you can come off of victories. He won at New Hampshire. So to go from New Hampshire to the high banks at Talladega to now leading this race, what a transition for the 15. If you can hold it down and go back to back, what a feat that would be as well.
Yeah, it immediately would become one of the championship favorites if he's able to get a second win in as many weeks. To get it done here at Talladega would be, maybe something else. But here we go. The field rolls their way through the restart zone. The iRacing.com safety vehicle in the safety of pit lane, and racing commences. Michael Madden out in front. Michael Madden and Troy Techmeyer leading the charge on the inside. It's two tank racing trucks in Bruce Amsden and Derek De Silva working the high side. They got Trevor Williams in tow behind. How about Jason Tripp inside the top 5? In that 91 machine, they're just outside now in that 6th position as Williams on the high side has scored ahead of him. What do it mean for Tripp to get it done today?
Yeah, absolutely. A name that we don't really call out a lot here in the Fiverr Truck Series. That 91 machine would love today's victory lane. As Derek DeSilva in that 5 machine, he's getting very squirrely on the top side lane. That's going to put Trevor Williams in a 3 wide situation inside of that top 5. Coming off of the corner, everybody's going to fall back in, though. Oh, my goodness. That was a drastic move we just saw there, Emerson.
At 87 of Andrew Harris, he wanted off that top side. Look who's back, though. Jacob Zala. He may have been down, but he's not out. He's going to try to roar back to the occasion up on that high side. A push from the 2 of Danny Dow. Ironically, was just in front of him a few laps ago.
As they say, Emerson, you get knocked down, you get up again, you get knocked down, you get up again. That's what Jacob Zala is trying to do here in this race, leading the charge on the outside. Watch to see if he wants to go way to the outside there. A little slide to the right, action like the electric slide. But what's feeling electric is this battle for the lead, the apex of 3 and 4. Michael Madden in the 15 trying to go back to back here. He's only going to have 19 laps to go to do it. Meanwhile, Armstrong in that 28 and Techmeyer trying to get something going on the top side.
Bruce Amsden on the high side, trying to get it going as Madden down on the inside with the push of Techmeyer and Tripp. Amsden, Williams, and De Silva on the high side. They've got Danny Dow, Spencer Brown, the lap trucks, and that's Sean Corcoran, my apologies. They're in that 43 machine. And Jason Green there, the 4th truck on the inside.
Everybody's calm on the racetrack here. Down the back stretch, Emerson still 2 by 2 in this lead pack. You see Michael Madden leading the way in that 15 machine. Can he hold on as we come off of 4? Some new players trying to sneak inside of that top 10, including Lawrence in that 8 machine. He's up 7 spots from the drop of the green flag. You see Lawrence rounding out that top 10, but other than that, Emerson, no separation up here. Everybody's locked inside of that top 10.
Double wide all the way through. Now Bruce Amsden takes the lead there. He had enough room to clear down, but he decides not to clear down in front of the 15 van of Michael Madden. These drivers will continue on. There's a lap truck coming off the pit lane there. It looks like Dylan Godina is rejoining the racing action. Michael Madden, Troy Techmeyer still getting it done on the inside.
And you watch the 32 machine of Troy Techmeyer. He's just inching on that back bumper. He's just easing back and forth, left to right. Doesn't want to get too overheated on the back bumper of that 15. Trevor Williams out will make a move to the outside of the 28. He's going to make it 3 wide for a second. Trevor Williams is tired of playing in the sandbox. He wants his own toys at the top of the grid. They're 3 wide for 3rd. Emerson in 1 and 2. 17 laps to go. Oh my goodness. As De Silva makes contact with that back bumper of the 1, things are getting crazy down the backstretch.
Yeah, Derek De Silva, he saw it as an opportunity to get re-linked up back with his teammate Bruce Amsden. Quickly, Trevor Williams saw that he was going to be sent backwards, kind of made a way back inside as the 5 of De Silva had to let off after near contact between himself and the 55 of Jason Green. And all of a sudden, we're back to exactly right where we were.
Yeah, right back where we were indeed, almost restarting on the last checkpoint, if you will, Emerson. If we were playing a video game, as Trevor Williams and Techmeyer almost made contact coming off of 4 into 1 and 2. We're going to put another lap in the books there. Emerson is still leading in that 28, keeps trying to slide down to get in front of that 15, Emerson, but they have a huge run on the low side. Troy Techmeyer in that 32 is pushing that 15 along the backstretch here. Looks like a rocket down the backstretch into 3 and 4.
Michael Madden, then, the race leader, trying to fight the 28 there as Tripp, a big moment there into the corner. Nearly into the truck to his outside there. For Jason Tripp, he's able to hold it down on the inside and double wide now all the way back. We're looking at about 7-8 lanes of double wide here. 14 trucks still within 1 second of one another, and the racing is still as tight as ever out in front. Bruce Amsden will lead another lap.
Emerson still at the top of the grid, being pushed along by Trevor Williams, who hasn't slid outside of the top 5 the entire race here tonight. Got up there and has stayed up there, coming off a 2 here down the backstretch. Still that 28 leading the way, but some guys trying to work their way up, including De Silva in that 5, Tripp in that 91. They all want a shot at this. Coming into 3 and 4, Emerson, laps are ticking down here at Sweet Home Talladega.
Sitting at 15 to go. This time I will be 14. Madden surges back ahead on the inside, but Trevor Williams with a great push has been steadily getting that 28 back to the point, and he's going to shove him through the tri-oval once again. Side by side, but this time it looks like it'll be Madden across the stripe. Danny Dow trying to get settled behind the 5 of Derek De Silva. A little bit of movement back there. Now Derek jumps up a little high, and Trevor peeks down to the inside, and now De Silva not clear in contact. Oh, big hit there. More trucks are gonna go around. Oh man. The 2 of Danny Dow, Ben Park, and this one, many lap trucks involved in this one.
Impact.
Spencer Brown. Sorry, there's Sean Corcoran, the truck up there. Jeffrey Radke in this wreck as well. And kind of saw that one happening. De Silva wanted to get back down in line, but De Silva was not clear. Gonna try to force his way down, makes contact there with the 2 truck as Green comes up, and Dow, unfortunately after that contact, kind of panic drives up the track. Zala gets spun round. Down the track contact there between 3 of Radke and Mike Lepicki, Ben Park.
And I think through all of this, De Silva is going to come out of this unscathed, and he was the one that was trying to squeeze that move on the top side.
Yeah.
He's going to have no damage out of this.
Really, most of these drivers to get away relatively clean, except the 2 truck, then the Danny Dow. He's the one that took the big hit. You get one more look at it then. Just happened so quick. Bam, big hit there for Dow. I guess Sean Corcoran in 43 is going to feel it as well. Everyone else gets away relatively unscathed. Unfortunate incident there, Ven, for Danny Dow. And with 13 laps to go, this is it now. If you can't make it on field, come on down and fill her up. Bruce Amsden decides he will. Dan Park, Sean Corcoran, they're going to come on down. Fill them up on field. Corcoran maybe for other reasons as well. That 43 has seen better days. And we're working under our 4th caution of the day with 12 laps to go. We're going to step aside and hear a quick message from our commercial partner here at Speed Racing Network, Butt Kicker. Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. The field is working their way through turns 3 and 4. We'll be restarting with 10 laps to go here from the big bad Talladega Superspeedway. 50 laps down, 10 to go. Drivers looking to salvage their playoff lives. With 3 races left in the playoffs, at the end of this one will be 2. And who's gonna be going in with the head of steam that we think they'll have? And so the iRacing.com safety vehicle find its safety down in the pit lane, and the field will drudgingly roll to the restart zone at 70 miles an hour. The field then in the hands of Michael Madden and Troy Techmeyer, and we will resume racing here from Talladega. Out in front of the field, there it is. Michael Madden, Trevor Williams, and now Jason Tripp on the high side, trying to take the lead with a push from Derek De Silva.
Tripp on that high side, and that 91 tells the rest of the field, don't be tripping, as he's trying to take the lead on that high side. As De Silva pushing him along, they have to stay together if they want the speed. As Michael Madden leading along on that 15 machine, he has Trevor Williams in that 1. You see everybody sort of shaking it off, coming off of 2. We're down the backstretch here at Talladega. De Silva thought up making it 3 wide. He'll file back behind the 91 of Tripp as we're side by side for a second and 3.
Side by side out in front of the field is Michael Madden and Jason Tripp. Tripp searching for a victory here in Speed Racing Network. Derek De Silva trying to jump up high with Michael Madden. No contact! Zala's going to make contact with the 52, and Lipicki's going to be involved in this one.
Oh, big contact on the top side wall. Caution has yet to come out. It will be coming out, though, momentarily.
I don't know.
No, it is not out on the racetrack just yet, as we had contact on the top side wall, but we're still moving down the backstretch as Michael Madden in that 15 still leading the way. Trevor Williams still trying to get around that 15 into 3 and 4. We're still moving and grooving in this race, Emerson.
Racing continues. It's now Madden, Tripp and Williams going out side by side, and Madden nearly goes spinning off the nose of the 1 machine. They have to readjust. Jason Tripp now with the run, trying to get up alongside.
What a wild finish this is boiling down to be here with 8 laps to go. We're going to make it 7 now. Michael Madden, that 15, takes us into 1 and 2. Tripp in the 91 on the high side of the racetrack. De Silva up there. Lawrence up there. Techmeyer up there as well. As right now, Tripp gets a little squirrely off of 2 as we're down the backstretch. Emerson drag racing here at Talladega.
Side by side down the back, Jason Tripp with the advantage on the high side. And now it's 11 trucks, 12 trucks, and 13 trucks in this lead pack. It's 14 trucks in this lead pack. The county's getting higher. But that is it. We lost a great deal to that incident. And so 14 trucks battling it out. 6 laps to go this time. Madden and Tripp still doing it out at the front of the field.
Anybody's race, though, Emerson, as we come across that start-finish line once again into 1 and 2. Michael Madden on the low side. Tripp in the 91 on the top side. Derek De Silva behind the 91 is trying to shadow box that 91, although that 5 wants to get around him as soon as possible. Michael Madden, though, will take the low side off of 2 as our race leader down the backstretch. Emerson, you can tell these drivers are getting antsy here. Drivers keep looking for opportunities. Nothing happening so far as we're still side by side in 3 and 4.
Still side by side out of turn number 4. There's the top 6 under a blanket. Tripp with the lead out of turn number 4. Williams trying to get to the back bumper of Michael Madden. They do, at least for a brief moment. De Silva trying to push Tripp. 5 laps to go. Jason Tripp leads at Talladega.
Tripp in the 91 will take a lap right there as the 15 of Michael Madden's getting another big push out of Trevor Williams in the 1 machine. Derek De Silva in the 5. He's lingering. As you see, Emerson, this pack keeps getting bigger and bigger as we're down the backstretch.
And it's now a 16 truck packing, make it 3 wide up on the high side. Here comes Wally Babb. 3 by 3 out in front of the field.
Whoa.
Babb and Park.
This is wild, Emerson. We're 3 by 3 off of 4. We're 3 wide for the lead on the front stretch here at Talladega. Gonna make it 4 laps to go, Emerson, as the field is 3 wide into 1.
4 laps to go, 3 by 3. The top 9 are making the top 10, all under a blanket. Madden, Tripp, and Babb. Oh, sideways, Dan Park's gonna go around, contact, and they save it.
They save it. Michael Madden still holds it down the low side of the racetrack. In the middle, it still is Tripp in the 91. We just lost some more drivers out of this lead pack. Meanwhile, Trevor Williams stays up there. De Silva's up there. The 99 of Babb is up there. And the 32 of Techmeyer. As we come off of 4, Michael Madden still leading the way in that 15 machine. But here comes the 91 of Tripp and the 99 of Babb, who will find a friend. But we're going to make it 3 laps to go. Throw up those 3s. Rest in peace to Dale Earnhardt, because here goes Michael Madden into 1 and 2.
Truck lining up. Babb is now hung out to dry on the high side. Tripp has counted 1, 2, 3 tank trucks in tow. And De Silva, Amsden, and Dan Park. Now Andrew Harris, who was up there, he drops down. 3 wide now going on the back of the pack. Everyone regrouping and rerouting their ways, trying to get forward. This time by will be 2 laps to go. It'll be just over 5 miles to settle it at the big bad Talladega Super Speedway.
Michael Madden, Tripp, Williams, De Silva, Techmeyer, Armisen, Lawrence, Park, Harris, Babb are top 10 now with 3 laps to go. We are side by side for all of those positions right now. We're side by side for the race lead across the start finish line. Madden and Tripp trying to battle it out. As we have a caution out. We have a caution out. Truck's crashing.
Oh no. Oh my goodness, and it's a big mess. A huge mess here. Daniel Park, Jason Tripp involved in this one. Amsden, Nicholas Lawrence, Corey Stahl, Derek De Silva, Spencer Brown, Jacob Zala, Blair Holloman, Ben Park, Wally Babb, Sean Griffith. The list goes on and on. Sean Kozier.
Wow. We're watching just at the end of this race. Our 5th caution and flag flies. And it's going to involve some of the leaders up there at the top, as it looks like Harris will survive, Techmeyer and Madden will survive. But I think all the folks at home are waiting for exactly this moment here. Emerson, what do you see there on this caution?
Hard racing, seasons on the line. And a whole lot of gonna be difficult to piece together here. The sim, not liking it, but looks like Babb gets into the back of De Silva. And this is at the front of the field, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know how to piece this one together. I do apologize for the difficulties the sim has been giving us.
You see that 91 machine there, just mangled, and that's hard for Tripp, who was up inside the top 5 here with 25, 30 laps to go. Could see victory lane. Emerson was right in the mix. And I think you're looking at contact between the 33 and the 99, and that's what sets off the entire domino effect. Gonna make contact with De Silva, who's gonna come down the racetrack, collect some more guys up there in that lead pack. We'll watch it here again, Emerson.
Yeah, you're right.
And watch the contact, I think, between the 33 and the 99, and then he's gonna make contact with De Silva, who is already a tad bit loose there on the top side, and that's just gonna
from
create,
there.
yeah.
I mean, just about everyone is in this one, man. This is gonna be a tough one. Everyone, I think, other than Michael Madden. I mean, this. I mean, Michael Madden is gonna be the only one who gets out of this one. Everyone else is involved in this mess. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's Talladega, and this is a track that's going to have moments like this, Emerson, and your favorite driver will be inside the top 10, top 5 majority of the race, and just see the race end like that. I think we had the boss man himself, Jonathan Byer, was cheering on Tripp at the top of the grid there, and as you mentioned, Tripp hadn't seen Victor Lane for a long time. And he had some fans watching along with us to see that 90 machines night end like that. It's a 91 machines night end like that. It's just unfortunate, Emerson. But we look at our new top 10. Some of these guys have also faced adversity, now worked their way back up through the grid. Look at the 87 of Harris. Matthew Greathouse is up here now. DeLong's up here. Jacob Zala, who we thought tonight was over, is up here as well. So
Zala's been in the middle of a lot of these accidents, still running.
So it's a new opportunity for some of these guys now with 3 laps to go.
Right, and I do want to go down the list of the drivers who, well, they're not on the lead lap any longer. Let's see, Lawrence and Dan Park. I think that's going to be the rest of the lead lap. So it's on from there. So as a result of this incident, Jason Tripp is out of this race. Derek De Silva. Michael Apicki is 4 laps down. James Jackson, several laps down. Castellanos, he returned to racing action, several laps down. Corcoran, Godinez, Walt Lepicki, Ben Park, Dow, Spencer Brown, Kratke, and Zach Hines. All out of this one, just about half the field remaining, many of which we're trying to piece it together. Of the field, many are damaged. We trudge on. I don't know where our clean trucks are. I mean, even the sides of these trucks up inside the top 5 have damaged sides. Look there, the 51, that's a clean truck. 87, look at these top 4 are really the clean ones. And I think even Madden had a scrape on the right side, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the right side of Madden's truck is damaged. Maybe only 3 trucks are left clean here, Will.
And through all of this, Emerson, through all the cautions and the big pileups we've had, I'm looking at Jeffrey Gradke in that 3. You can't miss him at the top side of this grid. He is rocking a lime green, highlighter green paint scheme there.
Oh, even he's damaged, left side.
He's up 27 spots from the drop of the green flag. If he's able to get this victory here tonight, that's almost going from the rear end of the field to the top of the field at the end of this in only 60 laps. What a victory that would be for the 3.
Absolutely. It'd be huge for Radke to lock himself in. He is atop the standings and will be fine on points at the most part. But if he could lock himself in, add some momentum to his name, that'd be another story. And so the iRacing.com safety vehicle find its safety down in the pit lane, then the field in the hands of Michael Madden. Will, I forgot about it. We're going overtime racing, so this is our first of 3 overtime attempts. And Michael Madden is going to lead us to the green, racing once again, overtime from Talladega. The great restart Van, Austin DeLong trying to make something happen down on the inside. Ratke and Great House up on the high side. They're trying to get momentum working their way. Looks like really only the top 5 have something to say. Some runs are going to have to generate further back with a little more time. To the outside, looks like that's going to be a jump there from Vatena. Blair Holloman trying to get the 99 to Wally Babb working. Zala trying to push Bruce Amston forward up front. Radke gets hung out to dry as Michael Madden leading 4 wide behind.
Yeah, Michael Madden on the low side of the racetrack is going to leave Radke all by himself. He'll take Harris in the 87 with him. Matthew Greathouse will go with Harris in the 87 as we have 1 lap to go. This is official. Matthew Greathouse, Andrew Harris just separated away from Michael Madden at the top side of the grid. Andrew Harris is taking this away with Matthew Greathouse. As we come off of 2, they wreck off of 2. This race is now official down the backstretch is Andrew Harris in the 87 and Matthew Greathouse still battling it out for the race victory into 3 and 4.
Oh, more wrecking! Oh no! Madden's gonna get turned! Who's gonna make it back to the line? They're wrecking behind! The 3 of Radke still races here, now the 89 with the long, 3 wide! Here comes the 55 of Jason Green on the high side! Jacob Zala behind, he's gonna try to jump out! Side by side to the line. It'll be Jason Green winning at Talladega.
Where did he come from, Emerson? Jason Green in the 55 just came out of nowhere. Wow, Emerson. Even I'm shocked up here in the booth.
What a wild, wild race. Jason Green out of Blue Lightning Racing.
Wow.
Getting the job done today. Zala 2nd, Jeffrey Radke in 3rd. And this is going to go a long way for Jason Green.
What a finish there, Emerson. We had wrecks all over the place. We had Michael Madden, unfortunately, taken out there. The entry of 3 and 4. Jason Green, I'm not sure where he restarted there in that overtime restart, but wherever he did, he found holes. He navigated through those wrecks at the end. He has some racing strips of his own, but now he gets to burn it down on the front stretch at Sweet Home Talladega.
Reason to celebrate then for the 55 of Jason Green. With the victory tonight, Green putting himself in great position when it comes to the points. I mean, that's huge. That's going to put him at a 2nd win on the season, so the time with Trevor Williams in wins. And, yeah, a wild race here at Talladega. I do sincerely apologize for the stuttering of the sim. Tried to get down to that here and try to get it sorted out. Not able to, but we do have a race winner to talk to, and that is driver of the number 55, Jason Green. For what is now the 2nd time this season, Jason, you're going to be in victory lane, and tonight it was a wild one. Walk us through, how about just that final lap?
Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. That was wild. Absolutely just mayhem in front of me. I mean, I got wrecked out there with like 10 to go, and stuff just kind of fell my way there. Yeah, that last lap, I knew they were going to probably wreck in front of me a little bit, so I just kind of left it just enough room. And yeah, going to the 3 there, I had no idea what they were doing in front of me, but it opened up top, and then Jacob Zala helped me out a ton there. He pushed me to a win. That was fantastic. That's awesome.
Look, a very crazy race, chaos from start to finish. How did you approach tonight, and then how quickly did that plan kind of turn up on its side?
Yeah, our plan was to kind of hang in the back a little bit, stay on the bottom line if possible, just knowing you can kind of dart down and avoid some wrecks if possible. And so that was a plan basically through lap 40 and did that perfectly. I think we were up to like sixth there with about 20 to go after that second stop. And from there, it was like, okay, let's push it a little bit, got all the way up to 10th. And then, yeah, like I said, unfortunately get turned. But yeah, I mean, it's Dega for you. That's fantastic.
That's about as crazy as a Bodega race you can get. Wrecks all over the place, overtime, and a wild white flag lap. Jason, congratulations on your second win on the season. This is going to set yourself up with some great momentum heading into the playoffs.
Absolutely. Yeah, I had no expectations coming in. I like these plate tracks on iRacing, but I feel like I never have any luck. You know, there's a lot of things need to go your way. And this is fantastic, especially heading into the playoffs here. I think trying to get as many of those points as possible going into that first round is going to be awesome for us. So, yeah, just going to try and keep it up here.
All right, congratulations, Jason Den, on the second victory on the season. Best luck to you next week at the Rock.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
I was the driver of the number 55, Jason Green, and Will, you're going to be standing by for a second place finisher tonight, Jacob Zala, who pushed that 55 to the win.
Yeah, definitely pushed that 55 to the win, but the 25 machine of Jacob Zala definitely put in some work of his own throughout this race. Jacob, never really saw you fade outside of that top 5. You fought through the entire race, those big ones at the end, including some late race cautions there. Jacob, how'd you get the job done coming home second here?
To be honest, I would like to thank my truck for taking all the hits tonight and still being able to push someone to a win. We took a lot of damage tonight. I think when I pit the first time, I had 2 minutes of damage, so it's added up. I'm surprised my truck was still there, and man, what a race! What a race!
Yeah, it was an absolute blast for us to call up here in the booth. We can only imagine what it was like to drive in it. And Jacob, we mentioned that to end this broadcast. Didn't look like there was a truck up there that didn't have at least a little bit of damage. Heading into this race, what do you think your chances were, and how happy are you to come away with the podium?
Well, it's been a running joke that every time Emerson's been in the booth, I haven't been able to finish a race tonight. So, I'm actually glad that I was able to finish one. I mean, I got a lot of damage. I felt like I owed Jason one because I definitely did. I wrecked him earlier on, so I felt like I owed Jason one to push him to the win, and I'm glad we were able to get that situation in. And I'm honestly glad I finished one in P2.
Yeah, it was a great finish here tonight. No better way to kick off a little momentum than a podium. And Jacob, we go from the high banks of Talladega to the Rock next week. What do you think your chances are there?
I think the Rock is all right. I mean, last season we ran at the Rock. We didn't finish the race because of a DQ penalty, but we were all right there. So we'll see how we do. But this is definitely not my last race here at Talladega. If you watch on Thursday night, I will be running in the number 25 machine out there in the Xfinity Series. So we still got a little bit of Talladega left.
There we go. A little breaking news there for the 25 machine. Folks got to tune in on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Catch that 25 machine in that Xfinity Series. Before we let you go, Jacob, with that second place finish, is there anybody you want to shout out or any sponsors that helped you get inside that podium?
Yeah, first of all, I want to shout out my dad. He's the one that really makes everything possible. I love that he comes in the Discord every week showing his support. So I want to thank him first. Second, I want to thank Bird Dog Racing and Chicago Heights Star Tool and Die. Bobby Anderson, he's been going through a lot of health issues lately. Glad he's doing well. My JBR teammates, and I think that's it.
Well, Jacob Zala, driver of the number 25 machine, comes home second here tonight. We appreciate you taking the time with us here, my man. And I think that streak between you and Emerson is officially broken as you finish second here.
Yes, sir. Before I go, I would like to thank you guys, too, for the broadcast.
Absolutely. If it wasn't for you drivers out there putting on a show, we'd have nothing to call. But you have a great night, Jacob. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep. Thank you.
That was the driver of the 25 machine, Mr. Jacob Zala. But Emerson, I believe you're catching up with our third place finisher, Mr. Jeffrey Radke. He finishes 23 spots to the good to the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, the three of Jeffrey Radke had a great race going for him. And it really all came to light there late, Jeff. We were kind of, watching the same front runners kind of over and over again, and a lot of incidents. And Jeff, we didn't really see this bright green machine up until the overtime restart, up until when it mattered most, Jeff. And well, look at it. It got you a nice little podium finish to continue your strong run atop the standings.
Yeah, just like with any super speedway race, I was trying to bide my time. I knew we had a lot of laps and a lot of pit stops to get done before we could really start racing. There with like 7 or 5 to go, I got in that wreck. We and Wally got up a little too close and ended up getting some damage on that. Luckily, after we got strung out where they wrecked in no caution, I was able to get a good push from Benjamin Park, got us back up to the pack, and then we were able to start in the front row. And I was just hoping I could give Madden a shot there. I saw the front two guys split. I thought we were going to take it right down the middle going into 3. And, last lap, it's hard to lift.
Yeah, it's hard to lift, especially with all that going on. What's going through your mind? I guess over to keep that foot down to the floor. How are you like swerving and dodging all this chaos that's going on in front of you?
Oh, it was wild. There was a few wrecks there that got put up on the wall. I was on the high side. I had to really get it woed down to stay out of it. But luckily the track washes from the top to the bottom. So stayed up there, helped my chances a little more. Just a wild ride. Glad I could bring it home in the top 3.
Absolutely, Jeff. And again, top the standings, one of the drivers highest up in the points without that victory. But I think now with this great finish tonight, you're going to be just about locking yourself in on points. I know you want to get that win, but to have such a great run coming into the playoffs here, how does that kind of set you? How do you feel setting yourself up well then for the final couple races here in the regular season, then the 7 playoff races?
I'm just trying to stay consistent and make sure that I can at least make the playoffs if I don't happen to get the win. Got a few good tracks here coming up where I feel like I might be able to finally lock that down and definitely secure my spot.
All right, Jeff. Well, congratulations then on the podium finish and a great run tonight out of that number 3 out of Fret Level Midnight Motorsports. Best luck to you next time out at the Rock.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Absolutely. And that was driver of the number 3, Jeffrey Radke, then our third place finisher tonight. And Will, again, what a wild turn of events that saw these drivers bring it all the way through to the checkers. And we have some post-race results to go through then. And let's go ahead and start working our way down that finishing order. Sadly, well, some came to the checkered and some just kind of got scored back there because it was a wild one to say the least tonight here, Will. Here's how it all ended up. Jason Green with the victory tonight. Jacob Zala hot in pursuit, finishing 2nd. Jeffrey Radke then in 3rd. Austin DeLong, Sean Kozier then the top 5. And well, that was all there. That was there at the checkers. It was Daniel Park 6th, 2 seconds off. Blair Holloman then in 7, 5 seconds back. Nicholas Lawrence 8th, 6 seconds back. Bruce Amsden, Wally Babb, and Trevor Williams are all dueling it out to the line, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Yeah, in that 12th position, as you mentioned, these guys, especially Michael Madden, that 15 was leading the race until that last stretch of race. Finishing 12th, Corey Stahl in that 33, 13th, Matthew Greathouse 14th, and Troy Techmeyer will be our last truck on the lead lap. Finishes 15th with Andrew Harris in the 87 a lap down, Sean Griffith in the 17th spot a lap down, Michael Lepecki in 18th, James Jackson 19th, and Jason Tripp in that 91. That's got to be a heartbreak, Emerson. He finishes tonight in the 20th position.
Finishing in that 21st position is Derek Da Silva. Unfortunate there for how long he was up there towards the front of the running order. Jose Castellanos, also some heartbreak there, 6 laps off the pace. Sean Corcoran 23rd. Dylan Godina is then 24th. Walt Lepicki will finish 25th, 15 laps off the pace. Ben Park 26th. Walt Lepega was 12th. Ben Parkland 15 laps off the pace. Spencer Brown then 27th. Danny Dow 28th. 17 and 19 laps off the pace. And out early then, the 54, Jason Kratky, 41 laps off the pace. Zachary Hines, one of the newcomers to the series, out early, 43 laps down then with that first caution of the day. So that's how the 30 drivers that started tonight's race got scored and classified all through the mess and the mayhem to close the deal out then today. But Will, a wild race here at the big bad Talladega Super Speedway. What say you? Exactly as you expected, more or less? What do you think?
I think it was exactly what I expected. An exciting race to kick off Speed Weeks here at Talladega. And good to have you back up here in the booth, Emerson. And what here tonight was a great race. We saw stage number 1 very clean there to the stage break. We had a little bit of a caution right there at that checkered flag at the end of the stage break. But all the way through, very close 2x2 racing, 3 wide. Then the big ones start to pile up. Emerson, of course, we're going to see that at Talladega. We had about 2 or 3 big ones towards the end, but with everybody surviving, maintaining positions, avoiding those disasters, we had a driver that had to be pushed across that start-finish line, and Jacob Zala pushing Jason Green across that line. Has to be one of those stories. Jacob Zala talked about the damage he sustained. Jason Green getting the victory here. I mean, it's just every time you hit Talladega in the sim, it's always a blast, and especially a blast here tonight.
Absolutely. And of course, it was a blast, and we couldn't have had our great time tonight without all of our great partners here at Speed Racing Network. Of course, Fiverr, Glitch, and Z-Grills doing all their heavy lifting on their respective days. Admin Box has been on your screen all day long, and of course, our starting grid presenter, Admin Box. Make sure you use code SRN-BOX, that's BOXX, for 10% off of your Admin Box purchases. Butt Kicker, of course, our commercial partner here at the Speed Racing Network. You heard a message from them there on that 4th caution period. EPI, of course, our victory lane presentation provided by EPI. And our incident replays this evening provided by Select Blinds. Of course, you've made it to this part of the broadcast. We would greatly appreciate it if you would scroll down and check out that big red button up on YouTube. If it says subscribe, just hit it, make it subscribed. It would help us reach our subscription goal. Make sure you also, if you are a subscriber here at the Speed Racing Network YouTube channel, take a look at what the Speed Racing Network membership program can provide for you. For $4.99 a month, you can become a Speed Racing Network premium member. Get loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive wallpapers and photos, early access to new content, member shoutouts, members only live chat, and priority reply to comments. To join you, of course, you can hit that join button next to the subscribe button. And of course, a huge shout out, or I guess a shout out to our social media outlets where you can keep up with everything Speed Racing Network. Our Facebook page, of course, at facebook.com/Speed Racing Network. Our X page at x.com/Speed Racing Net. Our Instagram page at instagram.com/Speed Racing Network. Our YouTube channel, of course, is where we were live tonight, youtube.com/Speed Racing Network. Our Twitch at twitch.tv/Speed Racing Net. LinkedIn at linkedin.com/company/Speed Racing Network. And of course, the website where you can keep up with everything, news and points and schedules and all that jazz. And probably want to keep up with that, as I'm imagining the playoff points with drop weeks will be coming out relatively soon at speedracingnetwork.com. Well, I think that'll do it then for us here at Talladega. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. For all at Speed Racing Network, Emerson Arn with Will Till then alongside. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you then tomorrow night when the Glitch Truck Series keeps things rolling here in Talladega, or next Tuesday night when the Fiverr trucks head to Rockingham.